why most people fail, and how you will master the art of winning. They walk among us, the ghosts of unrealized dreams. You see them in the vacant stares, the slumped shoulders, the quiet sighs of resignation that punctuate a life lived in the shadows of what could have been. They are the vast majority, the legions who started the race with fire in their eyes, only to stumble, to falter, to eventually surrender to the insidious whisper that says, "It's not for you. You're not enough. Give up." Why? Why do so many, blessed with the same spark of divinity, the same potential for greatness, ultimately succumb to the siren call of mediocrity, of failure? Is it fate? Is it luck? Is it a cruel cosmic lottery? Number. It is none of these things. Failure, my friend, is not an event, but a process. It is a series of choices, a pattern of thought, a habit of being that, once entrenched, becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy of defeat. Look around you. The landscape of human endeavor is littered with the wreckage of abandoned ambitions, broken promises to oneself, the dust of grand designs that never saw the light of day. And the air is thick with the echoes of excuses, justifications, the endless litany of reasons why it couldn't be done. They blame circumstances, they blame others, they blame the stars. But they never look to the one place where the true architect of their downfall resides, within. They fail to understand that the outer world is but a mirror, reflecting the inner landscape. They fail to grasp the immutable law that what you are, you attract. What you believe, you become. What you expect, you receive. The tragedy is not that they fail, but that they settle for failure. They accept it as their lot, their unchangeable destiny. They build walls around their potential, mistaking them for shelter, when in reality, they are prisons of their own making. They fear the sting of rejection, the pain of temporary defeat, more than they desire the incandescent glory of achievement. And so, they choose the dull ache of regret over the sharp, transformative pain of growth. They opt for the comfortable numbness of the known over the terrifying, exhilarating unknown of their own vast capabilities. They become masters of explaining why they cannot, instead of becoming students of how they can. This is the anatomy of failure, the blueprint of a life unlived. It is a surrender not to external forces, but to internal weakness, a capitulation to doubt, to fear, to the insidious voice that whispers, "Who are you to dream so big?" But you are here. You are listening. And that tells me something. It tells me that the spark within you, however dim it may sometimes seem, has not been extinguished. It tells me there is a yearning, a hunger for something more, something greater than the quiet desperation that ensnares so many. You sense, deep in the marrow of your being, that you were not forged for the ordinary. You were crafted for conquest. Not conquest over others, but conquest over the self, over the limitations that have been imposed upon you, or worse, that you have imposed upon yourself. You are here because you are ready to understand not just why most people fail, but how you, yes, you, will master the art of winning. How you will rewrite your narrative, shatter your self-imposed ceilings, and step into the magnificent, terrifying, and ultimately liberating truth of your own power. The first bastion you must conquer is the fortress of your own mind, for it is here, in the silent chambers of your thoughts, that the seeds of victory or defeat are sown. Your mind can be your most formidable ally or your most treacherous enemy. It can be a fertile garden where dreams blossom, or a barren wasteland where aspirations wither and die. Most people allow their minds to become junkyards of negativity, cluttered with the debris of past failures, the anxieties of an uncertain future, and the corrosive self-talk that erodes confidence and cripples initiative. They are slaves to their fleeting emotions, tossed about by every wave of doubt, every gust of criticism. They haven't learned the fundamental truth. You are not your thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts. And as the observer, you have the power to choose which thoughts you will entertain, which thoughts you will nurture, and which thoughts you will starve of your attention. Imagine your mind as a kingdom. For too long, perhaps, impostors have sat on the throne. Fear, doubt, indecision. They have issued decrees of limitation, whispered prophecies of failure. But you are the rightful sovereign of this inner realm. It is time for a revolution. It is time to depose these tyrants, and install a new ruler, an unwavering, indomitable belief in yourself and in your vision. Belief is not a passive wish. It is an active, dynamic force. It is the bedrock upon which all great achievements are built. It is the unwavering conviction that what you desire is not only possible but already on its way to you, drawn by the magnetic power of your focused intention. Think of Edison not as a man who stumbled upon the light bulb, but as a man who held an unshakable belief in its possibility through 10,000 so-called failures. Each failure was not a testament to impossibility, but a stepping stone, a refinement of his belief, a hardening of his resolve. He didn't see failures. He saw 10,000 ways that didn't work, each one bringing him closer to the one way that would. That is the power of a mind governed by belief. It transforms obstacles into opportunities, setbacks into setups for comebacks. It transmutes the lead of despair into the gold of unyielding determination. This belief is not blind optimism. It is not a naive denial of reality. It is a conscious creation of a new reality. It is the understanding that your current circumstances are merely the physical manifestation of your past dominant thoughts. And if you want to change your circumstances, you must first change your thoughts. You must saturate your mind with images of success, with affirmations of your capability, with the unwavering expectation of victory. You must become so convinced of your ability to achieve your goals that the universe has no choice but to conspire in your favor. This isn't mysticism, it's the mechanics of mind. What you vividly imagine, ardently desire, sincerely believe, and enthusiastically act upon must, inevitably, come to pass. This is the first law of winning. Master your mind, or your mind will master you. Choose to cultivate a psychology of invincibility, a mindset so robust, so fortified by belief, that failure simply cannot find a foothold. This is where your ascent begins. 1,197 words. From this bedrock of unshakable belief, the next crucial element in mastering the art of winning crystallizes clarity, a definite chief aim. You cannot hit a target you cannot see. You cannot reach a destination you have not defined. Most people drift through life like rudderless ships, buffeted by the winds of circumstance, hoping to stumble upon some distant shore of happiness or success. They have vague desires, nebulous wishes. I want to be rich. I want to be happy. I want to be successful. But these are not goals. They are phantoms. Too insubstantial to grasp, too ill-defined to pursue with any real conviction. Their energy is scattered, their focus diluted, their efforts haphazard. And so, they achieve haphazard results. They mistake movement for progress, activity for achievement. The winner, by stark contrast, operates with the precision of a master architect. Before a single stone is laid, before a single beam is raised, the entire edifice exists in their mind, detailed, vibrant, complete. They possess a crystal-clear vision of what they intend to create, what they intend to achieve, who they intend to become. This is your definite chief aim, that one overarching goal that gives direction and meaning to all your endeavors. It is the North Star by which you navigate the often turbulent seas of life. It is specific. It is measurable. It is written down. It is reviewed daily, morning and night, until it becomes an obsession etched into the deepest recesses of your subconscious mind. Why written? Because the act of translating thought into written word gives it form, substance, a tangible reality it did not possess before. It is a contract with yourself, a declaration to the universe of your unwavering intent. Think of Andrew Carnegie, a penniless immigrant boy who arrived on the shores of America with nothing but the clothes on his back and a burning, definite desire to achieve wealth. He didn't just wish for riches, he knew, with an almost terrifying certainty, what he wanted and how he intended to get it. His aim was not vague, it was to organize the steel industry, to build an empire. This clarity of purpose became a magnetic force, drawing to him the people, the resources, the opportunities necessary for its realization. Or consider Walt Disney, who, amidst the depths of the Great Depression, with creditors at his door and critics scoffing at his foolish idea of a feature-length animated film, held steadfast to his vision of Snow White. He saw it, He heard it, he felt it with such intensity that he was able to inspire his struggling artists to create a masterpiece that would change the course of entertainment forever. He didn't just see a cartoon, he saw a new art form, a new world of enchantment. That is the power of a definite, clear vision. It cuts through the fog of doubt. It silences the chorus of negativity. It provides the unwavering focus required to marshal your forces and direct them with laser-like precision towards your objective. So, I ask you, what is your definite chief aim? If you cannot answer that question with absolute clarity, then your first order of business is to retreat into the sanctuary of your own mind and not emerge until you have it. Meditate on it. Write about it. Speak it aloud. Feel the emotion of its attainment. Visualize it with such intensity that it becomes more real to you than your present circumstances. This is not idle daydreaming. This is the work of creation. This is the process by which the unseen is brought into the seen. Your vision must be so compelling, so intoxicating, that it pulls you forward, even when the path is arduous, even when obstacles loom large. It must become the dominant thought that occupies your mind, the silent hum beneath all your daily activities. Without this clarity, you are merely gambling with your potential. With it, you become a co-creator of your destiny. You move from being a creature of circumstance to a creator of circumstances. And this vision, this definite chief aim, must then be infused with an even more potent force, a burning, all-consuming purpose. Why do you want what you want? What is the deep, emotional driver behind your ambition? Is it merely for the accumulation of material things? If so, your motivation will be shallow, your staying power limited. True, enduring success is almost always rooted in a purpose larger than oneself, a desire to serve, to create, to contribute, to solve a problem, to make a difference. This purpose is the fuel that will keep your engine running when the initial excitement wanes, when fatigue sets in, when the naysayers are at their loudest. It is the why that will empower you to endure any how. Napoleon Hill discovered this truth in his decades of research into the lives of the world's most successful individuals. Each one, without exception, was driven by a powerful, often altruistic purpose that transcended mere personal gain. They were on a mission. Your purpose is your emotional anchor. It connects your personal ambition to a universal current. It gives your efforts meaning beyond the material. When you are driven by a profound purpose, your work ceases to be a chore. It becomes a calling. Your struggles cease to be burdens. They become badges of honor. Your sacrifices cease to be deprivations. They become investments in a future you are passionately committed to creating. Find that purpose. Excavate it from the depths of your soul. What injustice do you want to right? What beauty do you want to bring into the world? Whose lives do you want to touch, to transform? When your personal ambition is yoked to a noble purpose, you unleash a power within you that is almost irresistible. You tap into a wellspring of energy and resilience you never knew you possessed. You attract allies and opportunities as if by magic, because people are naturally drawn to those who are animated by a compelling vision and a profound sense of purpose. They want to be part of something meaningful, something that elevates the human spirit. Let your purpose be that magnet. Let it be the fire that refines your character and forges your will into tempered steel. With a crystal-clear vision and a white-hot purpose, you are no longer merely hoping for success. You are engineering it. 1,193 words. Now, with a mind fortified by unshakable belief, a vision laser-focused by a definite chief aim, and a spirit ignited by a burning purpose, you stand at the precipice of action. For all the mental and spiritual preparation, all the dreams and desires remain but phantoms without the catalyst of disciplined, persistent, intelligent action. This is where the dreamer diverges from the doer. This is where the wishful thinker is separated from the world changer. Most people falter here. They conceive brilliant plans. They possess noble intentions, but they hesitate. They wait for the perfect moment, for all the stars to align, for fear to magically vanish. And so, they wait forever, prisoners of their own procrastination, their potential slowly atrophying from disuse. They fail to understand that the perfect moment is a myth. The perfect moment is now. The only way to conquer fear is to act in spite of it. The only way to build momentum is to take that first often terrifying, step. Action is the great antidote to despair. It is the chisel that shapes your vision into reality. It is the bridge between the inner world of thought and the outer world of accomplishment. But not just any action. It must be disciplined action. Discipline is not punishment. It is the ultimate form of self-love. It is the commitment to do what needs to be done, when it needs to be done, whether you feel like it or not. It is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. It is the refining fire that burns away distraction and focuses your energy like a laser beam. The undisciplined mind is scattered, its efforts diffuse and ineffective. The disciplined mind is a powerhouse, capable of sustained, concentrated effort that can move mountains. Think of the discipline of Henry Ford, not just in conceptualizing the assembly line, but in the relentless day-in day-out execution required to bring affordable automobiles to the masses. Discovered this truth in his decades of research into the lives of the world's most successful individuals. Each one, without exception, was driven by a powerful, often altruistic purpose that transcended mere personal gain. They were on a mission. Your purpose is your emotional anchor. It connects your personal ambition to a universal current. It gives your efforts meaning beyond the material. When you are driven by a profound purpose, your work ceases to be a chore. It becomes a calling. Your struggles cease to be burdens. They become badges of honor. Your sacrifices cease to be deprivations. They become investments in a future you are passionately committed to creating. Find that purpose. Excavate it from the depths of your soul. What injustice do you want to right? What beauty do you want to bring into the world? Whose lives do you want to touch, to transform? When your personal ambition is yoked to a noble purpose, you unleash a power within you that is almost irresistible. You tap into a wellspring of energy and resilience you never knew you possessed. You attract allies and opportunities as if by magic, because people are naturally drawn to those who are animated by a compelling vision and a profound sense of purpose. They want to be part of something meaningful, something that elevates the human spirit. Let your purpose be that magnet. Let it be the fire that refines your character and forges your will into tempered steel. With a crystal clear vision and a white-hot purpose, you are no longer merely hoping for success, you are engineering it. 1,193 words. Now, with a mind fortified by unshakable belief, a vision laser-focused by a definite chief aim, and a spirit ignited by a burning purpose, you stand at the precipice of action. For all the mental and spiritual preparation, all the dreams and desires remain but phantoms without the catalyst of disciplined, persistent, intelligent action. This is where the dreamer diverges from the doer. This is where the wishful thinker is separated from the world changer. Most people falter here. They conceive brilliant plans, they possess noble intentions, but they hesitate. They wait for the perfect moment, for all the stars to align, for fear to magically vanish. And so, they wait forever, prisoners of their own procrastination, their potential slowly atrophying from disuse. They fail to understand that the perfect moment is a myth. The perfect moment is now. The only way to conquer fear is to act in spite of it. The only way to build momentum is to take that first, often terrifying, step. Action is the great antidote to despair. It is the chisel that shapes your vision into reality. It is the bridge between the inner world of thought and the outer world of accomplishment. But not just any action. It must be disciplined action. Discipline is not punishment. It is the ultimate form of self-love. It is the commitment to do what needs to be done, when it needs to be done, whether you feel like it or not. It is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. It is the refining fire that burns away distraction and focuses your energy like a laser beam. The undisciplined mind is scattered, its efforts diffuse and ineffective. The disciplined mind is a powerhouse, capable of sustained, concentrated effort that can move mountains. Think of the discipline of Henry Ford, not just in conceptualizing the assembly line, but in the relentless, day-in day-out execution required to bring affordable automobiles to the masses. It wasn't a flash of brilliance, it was years of grueling, disciplined effort, a refusal to be deterred by setbacks, a fanatical devotion to his vision. This discipline is not born of willpower alone. It is born of your burning purpose. When your why is strong enough, you will find the how, and you will find the discipline to execute. Discipline means creating routines, habits of success that automate excellence. It means winning the morning, dedicating those first precious hours to activities that move you closer to your definite chief aim, before the distractions of the day can encroach. It means prioritizing ruthlessly, saying no to the trivial, many so you can say yes to the vital few. It means understanding that sacrifice is not a loss, but an investment in your future self. The pain of discipline weighs ounces, the pain of regret weighs tons. Choose your pain. And this disciplined action must be persistent. One heroic effort is not enough. A sporadic burst of activity will not suffice. Winning is a marathon, not a sprint. It requires unwavering persistence in the face of adversity, monotony, and the temptation to quit. Thomas Edison famously said, "Our greatest weakness lies in giving up." The most certain way to succeed is always to try just one more time. How many times have brilliant ideas been abandoned just short of the finish line? How many potential Curies, Fords, or Kings gave up when success was just around the corner, hidden by last veil of difficulty? Persistence is the hallmark of a true winner. It is the stubborn refusal to accept defeat. It is getting up one more time than you are knocked down. It is the quiet, unglamorous, day-after-day grind that separates the amateur from the professional, the dreamer from the achiever. When you are persistent, you send a signal to the universe that you are serious, that you will not be denied, and the universe, in its own time and its own way, tends to yield to the persistent soul. Furthermore, your action must be intelligent. It's not enough to simply be busy, you must be busy doing the right things. This requires constant learning, adaptation, and a willingness to course correct. It means seeking out specialized knowledge related to your definite chief aim. It means forming a mastermind alliance, surrounding yourself with wise, supportive individuals who can offer counsel, share insights, and hold you accountable. Andrew Carnegie attributed much of his success to his ability to gather men around him who were more clever than himself in specific areas. He understood the power of collective intelligence. Intelligent action means analyzing your results, learning from your mistakes, and refining your approach. It means not being afraid to admit when a particular strategy isn't working and having the courage to pivot, to try something new without ever losing sight of your ultimate objective. The fool repeats his errors. The wise person learns from them and adapts. The winner anticipates, acts, analyzes, and adjusts, relentlessly moving towards their goal. So, examine your own life. Where is action lacking? Where has discipline faltered? Where has persistence waned? Be honest with yourself. This is not a moment for self-recrimination, but for self-revelation. The power to act, to be disciplined, to persist, lies within you, waiting to be unleashed. It is a muscle that grows stronger with use. Start small if you must, but start. Take one decisive action today towards your definite chief aim. Then, another tomorrow. Build momentum. Let each action fuel the next. Let each small victory build your confidence, your belief in your ability to conquer. For in the realm of achievement, action is king. Without it, the most brilliant mind, the clearest vision, the most profound purpose will amount to nothing more than a beautiful, unrealized dream. The art of winning demands that you become a person of decisive, disciplined, persistent, and intelligent action. This is the forge where your destiny is hammered into shape. 1,198 words. As you engage in this relentless, purposeful action, you will inevitably encounter the crucible of adversity. Setbacks will arise. Challenges will test your resolve. Moments will come when the weight of the struggle feels unbearable, when the specter of failure looms large and menacing. It is in these moments that the true mettle of a winner is revealed. Most people, when faced with significant obstacles, crumble. They see adversity as a sign to quit, as proof that their dreams were ill-conceived, that they are not meant to succeed. They allow temporary defeat to become permanent failure. But you, armed with the understanding of how to master the art of winning, will see adversity not as a barrier, but as a forge. A forge that, if you allow it, will burn away your impurities, temper your character, and shape you into someone capable of handling the success you seek. Remember the timeless wisdom of Napoleon Hill. Every adversity, every failure, every heartache carries with it the seed of an equivalent or greater benefit. This is not mere platitude. It is a profound truth that has been demonstrated time and again by those who have achieved greatness. Think of Abraham Lincoln, a man whose life was a litany of failures and profound personal tragedies before he rose to lead his nation through its darkest hour. Business failures, lost elections, the devastating loss of loved ones, any one of these might have crushed an ordinary spirit, but Lincoln possessed an extraordinary resilience. He extracted from each defeat a lesson, from each sorrow a deeper understanding of humanity, from each setback a renewed determination. He didn't just endure adversity, he transmuted it. He allowed it to carve him into the leader the world desperately needed. His resilience was not an absence of pain, but the ability to move through pain, to learn from it, and to continue striving towards his purpose with even greater conviction. Resilience is not about avoiding falls, it's about how quickly and how effectively you get back up. It's about dusting yourself off, analyzing what went wrong, extracting the lesson, and pressing forward with renewed vigor and refined strategy. The winner understands that failure is not fatal unless you allow it to be. It is merely feedback. It is the universe telling you that perhaps your approach needs adjustment, that there's a skill you still need to acquire, or a character flaw you need to address. Instead of succumbing to discouragement, the resilient individual asks, "What can I learn from this? How can this make me stronger, wiser, better?" They cultivate an anti-fragile mindset, one that doesn't just withstand shocks but actually benefits from them, growing stronger and more capable with each challenge overcome. This process of learning and adaptation is critical. The world is in a constant state of flux. Strategies that worked yesterday may not work today. The path to your definite chief aim is rarely a straight line. It is often a winding road, full of unexpected detours and course corrections. The ability to learn continuously, to remain flexible, and to adapt your plans without abandoning your core vision is paramount. Henry Ford famously said, "Anyone who stops learning is old, whether at 20 or 80. Anyone who keeps learning stays young." This commitment to lifelong learning keeps your mind sharp, your skills relevant, and your approach innovative. Read voraciously. Seek out mentors. Study the successes and failures of others. Never assume you know it all. The moment you stop learning, you start stagnating. And stagnation is the precursor to decline. Adaptability is the twin sister of resilience. It is the capacity to bend without breaking, to change course when necessary, like a skilled sailor adjusting their sails to harness changing winds. Those who are rigid, who cling stubbornly to outdated methods or fixed ideas in the face of new evidence, are destined to be left behind. The winners are those who can pivot, who can embrace change, who see new challenges, not as threats, but as opportunities to innovate and grow. They understand that the oak tree, mighty and unyielding, can be uprooted by the storm, while the humble reed, flexible and adaptable, bends with the wind and survives. This doesn't mean abandoning your core principles or your ultimate vision. It means being strategically flexible in your tactics, always seeking the most effective path to your destination. And as you navigate these challenges, as you learn and adapt, cultivate an attitude of profound gratitude. This may seem counterintuitive when you're facing difficulties, but gratitude is one of the most powerful forces in the universe. It shifts your focus from what you lack to what you possess, from problems to possibilities. It opens your heart and mind to receive more of the good you desire. Even in the midst of struggle, there is always something to be grateful for. The lessons learned, the strength gained, the very air you breathe, the opportunity to strive. Gratitude is not merely a polite sentiment, it is a high-frequency emotional state that attracts more experiences, people, and resources that resonate with that frequency. It creates an upward spiral of positivity. When you are grateful for the small victories, for the support you receive, for the challenges that make you grow, you magnetize more of the same into your life. It keeps you humble, it keeps you grounded, and it keeps your spirit aligned with the forces of abundance. The ungrateful heart sees only scarcity and lack, and thus perpetuates it. The grateful heart sees abundance everywhere and thus attracts it. This is not wishful thinking, it is the law of resonance. What you appreciate, appreciates. So, when adversity strikes, do not despair. See it as an invitation to demonstrate your resilience. Extract the lesson, adapt your approach, and find something, anything, to be grateful for. This combination of resilience, continuous learning, adaptability, and gratitude will transform you into an unstoppable force. You will no longer be a victim of circumstances, but a master of them. You will not just survive challenges, you will thrive because of them. This is the alchemy of the winning spirit, turning the lead of difficulty into the gold of character and achievement. This is how you build an inner fortress so strong that no external storm can breach its walls. 1,196 words. You now stand equipped with the foundational pillars of mastering the art of winning, a mind governed by unwavering belief, a path illuminated by the crystal clarity of a definite chief aim, fueled by a burning purpose, propelled by disciplined, persistent, intelligent action, and fortified by indomitable resilience, continuous learning, adaptability, and profound gratitude. These are not abstract concepts, they are the very tools used by every man and woman who has ever risen from obscurity to eminence, who has transformed desire into reality. They are the keys to unlocking the vast, untapped reservoir of potential that lies dormant within you. The journey you have embarked upon is not for the faint of heart. There will be days when doubt whispers insidious lies, when fatigue gnaws at your resolve, when the summit of your ambition seems impossibly distant. In these moments, remember why you started. Reconnect with that burning purpose that